Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of J of C Oliver and Friend. Not so many. It's basically almost 2 weeks bugging Giulio to have another live, and finally decided yes, it was available for us to go live. Okay, so thank you, Giulio, for
You're welcome.
make my dream come true. And
Yeah.
we have a great guest. Actually, it's not a guest; it's more like a brother. Finally back with us. Ciao, Eduardo.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be
So.
here.
Oh, yeah, a man on many words, I see. Okay, good. So usually we have like a tradition with this super old show. Okay, so every new participant need to state his own favorite Juventus player all time and favorite coach all time.
Oh, Jesus. Well, favorite player. Interesting one.
You just have a couple hours to decide, but you
No,
don't put
well,
any pressure.
it doesn't look like that I have a long history with Juve, so it's like okay, what decade I want to pick, but let's pick a recent one, a reasonably recent one, and I'll go with Arturo Vidal.
Oh, that's
And
a
I
good
would have
one.
never guessed in a million years.
Yeah,
Right.
he would. Yeah, I just love that guy.
Well, hang on.
Except the part the later part when
Right. So, who is right after Vidal at this point? I mean,
oh, it's a long list. Well, I tend to be in the midfield. I go crazy for midfielders. So you have. I still remember. I'm gonna tell you the story. I was
Go.
in Villar Perosa the first time Pogba played with.
Oh,
me.
you mean you were where the mechanic is gonna work next year? Okay, sorry. Okay.
Doing a bit of gardening and a bit of no. So I was there the first time Pogba played, and the first thing he did was like this 50-yard pass across the field. And I was like, this guy is good. So I'm gonna go with Pogba prime after Vidal. Then
Wow,
there's a long list of
you make my eyes watery.
yeah.
what about the coach?
And I'm gonna go with Lippi. That's my
I think everybody has gone with Lippi. I think maybe Mauro went with Allegri. I think everybody's going with Lippi.
yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a childhood thing. It was the first big coach when I was a kid, and that stuck with me.
You were a kid like the other day, so you.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Okay, so we have to start because we don't have many Juventus related news. Okay, yeah, it looked like a Douglas Luiz is actually a done deal. Okay, actually, I was personally thinking to stoke his fiancée because she's in LA. Okay, and since Brazil is gonna play Costa Rica, I think I saw five next week, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and so was actually think about that. I don't think my wife she will agree much about that, but okay. And
Also the police, but
well, yeah, okay. So do you are basically our match analyst, Guido? You already know that. I already talked with you about that. And
You've been
that's a penalty
promoted.
for Canada. No, sorry guys. I'll try to watch again. And can you tell us something about Douglas Luiz? I would say David Luiz, but Douglas Luiz.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Filippo has a point.
that's true. I mean, as I said, it's a long history. We could go. I was just based on recency bias. Just So Douglas Luiz, I'm pretty happy with the guy. Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm a bit skeptical about how easy this deal looks. Like he's a great player, and there seems to be, I know Aston Villa has to sell by June 30 or whatever it is, but I was expecting a bit of a bidding war with other teams, but nobody seems to be
Yep.
that much interest in the player, which is crazy because he's a great midfielder and a massive upgrade for what we have currently on the roster. So I'm guessing we're going to play with two central midfielders, one being Douglas Luiz and the other one being big question mark, because I don't know if they want to try to re-sign Rabiot or they just want to go with a different player, or but he's a good physical and technical player. Doesn't give you a lot of mobility and speed, so maybe you need something else to kind of compensate that part. So I wouldn't expect the other midfielder to be in the same mold, so that you would have
So you don't
two
think
very
you don't
slow
think that
players.
Douglas Luiz and Fagioli can play together in a two-man midfield?
Yeah, it could work. I still am not sure. I think Fagioli is very talented. I don't know if I would build a team thinking of Fagioli as our starting midfielder. But it's definitely a different kind of players that would, work well together with Douglas Luiz, because he moves the ball very quickly. He's not super mobile and super quick, but he moves the ball very quick. So that's great. But then you would think about, if you were to keep Rabiot, then you would have Rabiot is kind of very, very weird, you know, athletic skills, because he's not quick, but he has these very long runs where he's really good. So I don't know how they would fit together. But and then the question is, you know, who handles the ball most of the times if you have Rabiot and Douglas Luiz. But still, anyway, it's a massive upgrade if you're thinking going from Locatelli essentially doing the same kind of thing, going from Locatelli to go to Douglas Luiz plus something else. But I want to see the whole midfield as a unit and then think about how good we're going to be.
You actually brought up a great point, and I know what Julio is going to say about Rabiot. So it looks like he was gone just some weeks ago. Then it looks like Thiago Motta is one of the players that asked Giuntoli to actually make an effort to resign. Actually, I'm with Julio on this. I think, okay, do you want Rabiot to stay? Okay, we made an offer. Okay, but you need to give you need to give a time. You need to have a timeline. We cannot wait until August to wait for so the deadline was supposed to be the start of Euro 2024, and we're still waiting. It looked like Juve actually is turning the page. Okay, so Giulio, so I know that what you're going to say about Rabiot, and because
the feeling I have is that Giuntoli is not there, sitting and waiting for him. Just look at what it happened, and it looks like what is happening with the Douglas Luiz deal. Where McKennie kind of almost put the deal sideways for personal reasons, and they right away put McKennie out, brought in Baranechea, and they're figuring it out, So in the same way, I don't think they're gonna be there waiting for Rabiot. If they find a solution, alternative solution, Rabiot is out, they're gonna bring somebody else in. I mean, I don't think Giuntoli is that kind of manager from that point of view, so I'm not concerned. What I'm more concerned about, not concerned, but to me, Douglas Luiz and Rabiot, I see them almost as similar players, with Douglas Luiz, like he said, moving the ball a lot faster, with the Rabiot always stops the ball, touches it 3 times, looks around, gives it back, So, that's the thing. I don't know if we need both at that point. Then it depends how we play. If he plays 4-3-3, yes, maybe it is better to have both, but I don't know. In a 4-4-2, I don't know how they both will play. Would be between the middle, the two of them. I don't know. I do think that somebody with the skills of Fagioli needs to be in there. It doesn't have to be necessarily him, but somebody like him with those kind of players. I think those kind of players would benefit the most out of somebody that gives them more the time of what's going on, So, I mean, I have full confidence in Giuntoli. I would have already kicked him out, Rabiot. This
I
waiting,
know.
waiting. I don't like it, but I don't think they're
I'm
just
with
there.
you, Julio. I'm with you. For whatever it counts, I'm with you on this. And Rabiot is he has all the quality to be a top player. He shows just when he wants, basically. Okay, and he's getting a lot of money. And if you want to stay, issue so a little bit like. Not respect, because I think it was always respectful, but it's a little love for Juventus. But to have a question from Maurizio asking about what is a new role with Danilo with if Douglas Luiz come, but Danilo I think he's going to play mostly as the right back, I think, and eventually he's going to be playing as a center back. That would think.
Right.
So I don't think he's gonna and. He should stay. I don't see Danilo leaving, even because I think he still count like 5 million against the cap, and so I don't see people making a bid for Danilo at this time of his career unless he receives like an offer for Saudi Arabia or some place like that. But we'll see. So I had to ask you guys. So would you be happy with a midfield having like Douglas Luiz, having Cop Miners, and then having they think Kefret Turan if Rabiot leaves?
Honestly, again, Kefren Turam, like he has played in France, so it will be a big question mark. I don't think it will be the one that make it or break it. Our midfield, maybe it's cheaper. Between him and Rabiot, probably will prefer Rabiot, obviously. But if it's a fresh start and we're bringing Cop Miners too, that could play in different positions, then sure, yes. But let's not forget, we need to have someone that knows Serie A and knows the team. I mean, bringing everybody new, it's like also, adds another layer to what the coach needs to do.
Yeah, I know, Filippo, that people forget his low lock, but let's say that the three people that are here tonight are not the biggest fan of the player. But
you need somebody on the bench. He is perfect for it.
Yeah, that's like to go back.
And he was likely gonna go back play with another midfielder next to him, which is much better for him. I think it's a Swallow play that way most of the times. Instead of Juve, he played pretty much alone in the midfield and was supposed to do 100 different things, like almost being another center back and also handling most of the ball. And then I don't know. I think he would benefit from having somebody next to him and moving with a like a four players in the midfield. But
that's a good one, huh?
I'm gonna be optimistic. I want to be optimistic tonight. I don't know.
That's a good one. But to go back to what Mauro was saying, people, especially in Italy, you are easy to go from the top to the down like in 30 minutes. Okay, Calafiori was a hero of the first game against Albania. Today they talking shit actually, and I don't think
he played well.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't think he had a big game. Is he worth the 50 million? Absolutely not, because is a player that with a huge upside. In my opinion, he's basically playing as a center back. It's just 1 year playing as a center back. So I would love for us together. I think if it was any other team other than the Juventus bidding the money, okay, it would already be gone from Bologna. But that's another conversation on how Serie A works. So, okay, the inside joke over there, but. Yeah, Filippo, I know. I hope, but especially because I think Serie A is gonna start like in middle of August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And if Brazil is gonna go far with the Copa America, the final I think is on July 14th. So after July 14th, I think he's gonna have like a couple of weeks a vacation. Actually, and the only good thing is Locatelli will be available since the beginning of training camp. So. But okay, so that's true too. So that's why I don't see why I think that 25 million was a fair bid for Calafiori, and I would love Juventus to get Calafiori, honestly, at this point. I'm huge fan, and so we had to think about the game today, guys. So we didn't watch it together. Well, okay. So since you're making the question, I make you go. I let you go first. So I want to hear what you hear about the game, what you think about the game, because maybe I have a different opinion than a lot of other people.
I mean, quite simply, there was a very, very good team on the pitch and an average one. I mean, the gap, both in terms of the pace and the skills, was very, very clear today. We didn't. I mean, probably they played above their sort of standards, and we played below our standards. But yeah, there was not really a competition. It doesn't mean that we're terrible. I mean, we're not a great team, especially again today. The midfield played particularly poor. At some point in the first half, I was thinking, Frattesi, Barella, Pellegrini. I don't think they were ever mentioned in the first half. Like they were not providing either support on the offense or defense. It was just like lacking midfield like entirely. But then the bigger question was like, what was the plan overall? Like, what was our idea to somehow try to win the game, or like? And I'm thinking like before the kickoff, right? What was our plan? Because right from the get-go, I think we started really, really struggling. I remember the first, I mean, Williams played like Neymar Prime today. I don't know, it was amazing. But yeah, right from the get-go, we started struggling. And I think maybe that thing just screwed our plan and just we couldn't refocus and regroup and try to get back to what we had in mind. But when the game was over, my question was like, okay, so what was the idea? Like, what did Spalletti plan to do or thought he could do to kind of score or win the game? Because to me, it looked like one team much better, much more fresh and running all over the pitch, and we're like struggling. And honestly, we could have been down 3 at the half easily. Just a couple of deflections and shots that didn't go in. But yeah, that was my big question. Was like, what did we want to do? And then and it goes to the next game. Like, what is our identity? What would we want to do in the next game and try to at least get through the group stage? Because at this point, I don't know.
Julie, you were watching the guy with the guy. You were watching the games with the Italian watch party. So tell us what you think about the game and what the feeling inside the Johnson Daily today.
I mean, Eduardo said it all. I want to just add one thing. Like, this national team is not made out of talents, right? There are not fuori classe, great players. Maybe Barella is one of them. Chiesa could be
Donnarumma,
one of them. Donnarumma today definitely was one, and he's the only one that performed at that level. So those couple of players that Jorginho could have done better. Those couple of players that should have made the difference, that they didn't. They underperformed like badly, and everybody else followed. Like if the leaders don't do what they're supposed to do, everything else crumbles, and that's what we saw today. And then I think Spalletti was not helping with decisions he made. You can't plan to defend with a team that goes 100 miles an hour and attacks you from every side, from every angle. You can't do that. So it was a whole disaster, all of it. Yeah, Jorginho, like today, was it was left alone in a way that
Yeah, that's my
it
point.
didn't have anyone to play with. I saw some big holes like in the midfield, you know, and they were just doing whatever they wanted. Plus, they made a lot of gross mistakes, you know, passes. They were like very simple, were like wrong, and they didn't support the attack. I mean, we didn't do not at the first half, zero shots, I think, and the second half almost the same until the last 5 minutes when they tried something. But that was it. I mean, the gap was.
Did we lose Julia?
Ah, okay. So I thought it was the one frozen, but I guess it's Julio. No, I want to hear what was the feeling in Gioco City, but it's not. But you know what? I still have no idea what was the plan. What was Spalletti's plan? I have no idea what was his intention. You know, because look, to begin with, I wasn't expecting a different game. I wasn't expecting a different game. I was expecting that Spain basically attack 90% of the time. And let me see, Jura, maybe he's gonna come back later. And but the thing I was thinking that Italy actually was able to get like a couple of counter attack, but basically we were not able to move the ball because, as I think Donnarumma said it perfectly, actually Argentina scored 2-0 right now. And I think it scored Lautaro.
Sorry, my internet connection decides to
and
stop working.
we need to understand that there is a reason this national team missed the last two World Cup. So there is a lack of talent. 3 years ago, I don't want to say it was a fluke, because I still think that Italy, but the point is, we make out of the group stage, okay? I don't think any team in the world want to play against Italy in a win or go home game. Nobody want to play against us in a win or go home, because maybe we are definitely, but because we are tough to beat. We're tough to beat, and even if
today they were bad.
Okay, yes, we were definitely bad.
But I don't know who was saying that this team is actually better than the one 3 years ago. Today, this team showed all the limits, like all its limitations. Today showed it all. 3 years ago, we played with Spain in the semi-final,
and we are basically almost the same game.
No,
we didn't pass the midfield.
They didn't do anything either. They didn't do anything either. That's the difference. They didn't do anything.
The thing is, 3 years ago we had 3 years ago we had a plan. Okay, we had a plan, and we were able, and the team was a little different because we can count like on Chiellini, Bonucci in the back. Chiellini played the semi-final, or no? I don't think. Actually, I don't think he played the semi-final. Chiellini 3 years ago. So, but we have a Chiesa like it was in the greatest shape. Okay, right. We had like, and our midfield was Jorginho, 3 years younger, Verratti, still like in a good shape, and Barella was like an outstanding player. It was a good player. It was a good team.
Like Immobile and Belotti instead of Scamacca and Retegui.
I take Scamacca and Retegui over.
Maybe in 2 years. By right now, they are.
Yeah, I agree. I still have no idea how Frattesi could play, what he was doing today. I have no idea what he was
first
doing.
Game, Frattesi has played badly both games, and I don't know why he keeps on playing. Frattesi shouldn't be started right now.
Yeah, but okay, Mauro, it's right. We won because the team were right, but we can say this is the same for every time a team win, actually. So
right, but like we didn't steal anything. But Mauro, the only lucky moment we had that I recall in the whole Euro tournament 3 years ago, it was against Austria, when thank God there was already the VAR, and like 1 centimeter they took away their goal, and then Chiesa came in and scored. That's the only lucky moment I can think of. But besides that, we didn't steal anything. I mean, we deserved everything we got. So it went everything right, but we did everything right.
Yeah, the thing I really don't know what was the plan today. Jorginho has a terrible game, okay, but he had no cover. There were every play Spain was coming was coming from every direction. Okay, so we don't. Do we really expect Jorginho to stop February or Pedri or
No, no,
Morata?
no.
So we have. So, but the big. Yeah, I know, Mauricio, you're definitely right with this. And there's another comment there. And yeah, exactly. We Belgium think we had a great game, but the question I have for you guys is this one, because at this moment, so with a tie, we make out but the group stage as a second team, okay. But if we lose and Albania beat Spain, we're out. Okay, I don't expect Albania to beat Spain, but I don't even expect Spain to play like a full speed against Albania. So maybe they're gonna rest some player, and who knows what's gonna happen. Albania is still playing like with a lot of enthusiasm. So, are you really scared that we may be eliminating the group stage?
It's a possibility. I don't think. I mean, I can't rule it out. Croatia is gonna play to pass. If they win, they move on to the next stage. So we're not gonna play against like a team that doesn't have motivations. So I will be concerned about our own game to begin with. Then let's see what happens. Then if we need to count on Albania, then we have a really big problem,
Oh, I know, but
so it's possible. I mean, it's possible. Everything is possible. I mean, Croatia is playing to win too, and as you can see, as we saw with Albania, I mean, we went down in the first minute, and then they came back. But today they were not existing. So the next match, it's a big question mark. I don't know. So it could be. It could be. I mean, we have two. We can tie or win, so that's the advantage. But hey.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you should have a pizza over there, Andrew. So, are you scared though?
I wouldn't say I'm scared. I mean, I'm concerned, but not specifically about making it through the group stage, but more generally, like I don't see this team making a big run in the tournament, but definitely, I mean, we're next game you're playing against a very good team, maybe not in their best shape. It's not the Croatia we saw a few years back, but still, it's very talented.
1 year and a half ago, Croatia was in semi-final of the World Cup.
Yeah. So, but we've seen Italy go up and down very quickly. So. But yeah, the thing is, it's also very. It's a solid team. It's very physical as well. So they're gonna put up a fight, and we have to be ready for it. Otherwise, we'll just go home or qualify as a sneak in as a third, and but I don't know. I'm concerned about the long term, path of the team more than just making it through the next stage.
Well, but look. Before the tournament starting, the last episode that we had, the tournament was started, and we were expecting actually, we have a question for you here, Andrew. So Andrew want to know if you live close to Target, okay?
No, I think Target is on Colorado. It's not far, but it's not close.
Okay, so I was what I said is I don't know if Italy is gonna go past the group stage because Croatia looked like a tough team. Actually, after the first two games, that they don't look so scary. At least I was expecting a little more for Albania. I think the game I see against us, actually they play better against Croatia. Okay, so we were kind of like with that. And then I said, if we go through, okay, and I repeat that because I already said nobody want to play against us. So can we win? Maybe not. Okay, but remember do you remember the Euro 2016, the one with Conte the Batch? I think it was the worst national team ever. Okay, we have Pelé and Zaza playing the striker, Giaccherini and De Sciglio play with the team. So we made we kick out Spain in round 16. Okay, and then we lost against Germany a penalty kick in the quarterfinal. Okay, so you never know, especially in this kind of competition. So I would have loved to see Spalletti playing other player. Not that I think we have a deep squad. Actually, I was checking the who on the bench, and I was pretty scared actually. So if you think that
when he made the sub today, it was like Chiesa out and Zaccagni. I mean,
Spalletti didn't have the balls to make subs when he was supposed to. Di Lorenzo should have gone out at the first half. Right away, he needed to take him out, bring Cambiaso in, see what happens. I mean, he was completely overpowered by Nico Williams. Completely. He was losing everything he could have lost. So at that point, you're going to make a change. Try it. It's not going to it's not going to get better.
Give me just a second.
It's not going to get better. So I think Spalletti had responsibilities. So in the same way, he could turn things around. He could surprise us if we make it through the group stage with some changes. And sometimes all it takes is like one or two players that start playing again, and it goes the other way. But I mean, today was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, the midfield didn't play well, and then he made a couple subs in the midfield. I think he brought in Cristante, who made a very stupid foul like 10 seconds in.
10 seconds in.
I love that.
No, I mean,
I love that. Finally, do it. Jeez.
It's stupid.
Yeah, and then I think it was the best thing he did all game, because then after that it was even worse.
Just one, Filippo. I think more than one actually. I don't know if you want to go into the conversation, because Maurizio has a point here, and whether a lot of Italian Juventus fan cannot support the national team. I think, and I really don't want to go too deep into that, but I think you cannot identify the national team with FIGC. Okay, so you need to keep separate. So yes, I'm the one who always said I'm not going to root for Italy. Okay, and then at the end of the day, I'm rooting for Italy because I'm not able to go against it. Even because I don't want to root for Spain, I don't want to root for France, I don't want to root for Germany, I don't want to root for Holland, I don't want to root for England. So basically, I'm against everybody. So I'd be stuck with Georgia probably, and Switzerland. Okay, so
but it's more like, you can root against the players. It's not the players' fault if there is something wrong in the management, right? The players, I will never doubt the attachment to the national colors of the players, no matter where they come from. So I can root against the players. At the end of the day, like if we win, or if we lose, we're gonna remember the players that won or the players that made a mistake. I'm not gonna remember, if it was Gravina up there or whoever it was there. I remember Chiellini pulling the guy out at the last minute, or Bonucci scoring, or the PKs. That's what I remember, So and I can't take that away. And most of all, like, I'm ashamed that we didn't make it the World Cup for 2 editions in a row. I'm ashamed as an Italian. It doesn't bring me pride, that. And then last thing, I don't gain anything from, even if that Italy's out. Or now, what are we gaining as Juventini? Let's say, what are we gaining? Is anything changing? Has ever anything changed? So I'm Italian. It's a national team. I root to win always, and that's fine. And then let's see what happens. But that's my opinion, obviously. Like, that's my.
No, of course, and everybody's entitled of their opinion. So
of course.
So I think David has totally centered everything. Okay, so I cannot go out against him. Okay, so how many World Cup players do we have on our team? Italy?
No one.
I mean,
no one.
No one.
No
yeah,
one.
You're right. No one, because the last watch since I live in the United States, we haven't made the World Cup. So and so nobody. Oh, world class. To me,
Barella
and Donnarumma. at the
But
moment.
Donnarumma today was world class.
Well, it was world class 3 years ago. Come on, he's one of the best players.
Sure,
He's one of the
sure, but
most.
like,
He's
what-
one of the best goal in the world. You cannot deny it. It's not. Is it perfect? No,
I
but
don't know if yeah, but world class is different.
yes,
World
but
class
he's,
is
he's
different.
still
Donnarumma, if you see what he has
25
done
years
with
old, guys.
PSG,
Only Buffon was as good as Donnarumma at that age.
Buffon was better. If you look at what Donnarumma
Hey
does
James, how are you
with
doing?
PSG, like he makes a lot of mistakes. He has costed them a lot of games. That's
Yeah,
not
you're
a
right.
world class player yet. He has his world class material, but it's not what I wouldn't label world class players that easily. Not that easily. Like world class, it means like another level, a completely another level. Del Piero, Zidane. Would you put Donnarumma with Del Piero, Zidane, Platini, Pelé, Maradona? Not even
I would
close.
say he's one of the best goal in the world. That's it.
Currently, maybe from the active players, but then
Why,
again,
sorry. Okay,
I mean,
so
maybe currently, but
so we have. Let me say, we have someone that is gonna. Hi, John. Hey, I know. Tough luck. I was
what
I
a
was
surprise.
rooting for you guys. Sorry. So John is joining us from Toronto.
It was honestly a very good showing for this Canadian team. I'm pleasantly surprised and happy.
Oh, really? I was expecting even more. I have a doubt. I need to ask you. Honestly, I need to ask you. So I keep hearing about this player, Jonathan David. Okay.
Yeah.
And he played like tons of goals. And with I
Lille.
think he played with Lille, right? I think,
Yeah.
well, almost. And honestly, I don't know you guys, Julio, Eduardo. You ever seen play? I seen playing in the World Cup. I seen playing tonight. It never impressed me. And I'm hearing that there is like, if you want to get it, you need to bid like 56 million euro.
Yeah. Milan made a pitch for him last year for 40 million and didn't get him from Lille. So, but it's he's an interesting player. I don't find him to be an impact player, someone who's going to make the difference. You can see at the end of the game with that first post pass across the penalty box, he felt like a turtle. I mean, there's not even an attempt. He just curled in front of Martinez. I thought it was. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I thought he was diving into a pool. I mean, it was guys that not surprised me, that I knew that were good. Kone in the midfield with Eustachio. Eustachio is who plays with Porto, and Kone, he's got a very interesting story. He's a refugee, came to Montreal, played for Montreal Impact. Sorry, got my dog over here. He's barking his head off. And he went from Montreal Impact, and now he's playing for Watford. But I know that Joey Saputo was hot on him to go play with Bologna, but he didn't stay because Joey Saputo owns Montreal and Bologna. He owns both teams. Great composed player. The guy who surprised me the most is Cornelius, our center D. Stop. Here, come here. Our center D. I've seen him play a couple of times, and he was absolutely amazing tonight. Even though we look a little bit like cheese in the milk. Look, this dog is. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
That's
Get
okay.
out of here. Dog is driving me insane all the time. But 2-0. We missed an opportunity in the first half with a header in the box with Eustachio. Good showing from a team that's rated 48th in the world against the world champions and number 1 on FIFA rankings. So good on them. They're going to look good against Chile as well. So and I don't know, can't remember who else is in the group, but I suspect a different game against Chile. And they tied France 0-0 in a friendly, which is something to be proud of.
Edo, do you think Nico Williams still playing with Atletico Bilbao at the end of this Euro? Oh, I still think that Di Lorenzo made him bigger today. I don't know what.
And Bastoni too. I think he flew by Bastoni a couple of times as well. But yeah, I'm sometimes you get this big, performances at the Euro or the World Cup, and then you think, oh, gee, he's the next big thing, and then 3 months in, people forget about him. What was the guy? The guy that we signed from Croatia that just got lots of
Krasic.
injuries.
Piazza.
No,
No.
Piazza.
Piazza.
He played a great Euro, and I was like, gee, this guy is great. And then we signed him, and then
he got injured.
He got injured in
Yeah.
a friendly in
In a-
Russia. We got screwed.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even go
And
in.
he wasn't-
Don't even
he
start
wasn't
me on that one. I was all hot
I
and
was
heavy
so
on him when we
pissed.
signed him.
Yeah, so pissed about that thing. Wow. Okay. Julia, we watch any other than Italy? You watch any game on the Euro? So anybody, any team has impressed you, or you still like? Or somebody disappoint you?
I mean, the home team has that advantage, and they seem solid. So Germany,
Yeah.
Germany, I think France. I mean, I think those two are the contender. Then let's see what Spain does. So far, we haven't seen Spain with.
So you think he's not going home?
I don't think so. I hope he doesn't go to France either, but we'll see.
We have a surprise, guys.
Bill on it.
I don't know. What are you
shaking
Bilo?
hands? What's going on?
See, now that
Did
there
we
is
lost?
Have you watched a game or no? Or you
60
watching
minutes.
Telepecan? Or
60 minutes.
Okay.
The first 60 minutes.
Okay, you watch the worst part. Actually, when you stop watching, actually, we at Italy start playing a little bit.
Yeah, they were waiting for me.
So, hey, John, I know that you're not rooting for Italy in this Euro. So, have you been watching the games?
Yeah,
or?
absolutely. Just being a part of not being as invested as I used to be.
That's for you, Bill.
I think that the formation that I just think Spalletti is super predictable. I think when you bring a flat line, a back line that doesn't allow you to transition based on your opponent, you are a sitting duck in the middle of a pond. He brought defensemen that do not allow him to go out a four flat to protect yourself against stronger teams. I think that he doesn't understand the IQ of players who are more suitable to play against a team like Spain. Bring on guys like Cristante to play against Spain with the midfield that they have, and the counterattack is literally asking a 5-year-old to do an algebra exam in university.
I'm the only one defending Cristante. I don't know, Bill.
Cristante
Usually think
for me.
aloud.
Listen, you bring Brian Cristante and you leave Locatelli at home. Think about I don't care what you say, whatever. In terms of experience and being in a pressure situation, Locatelli's been there.
But to be fair, in the Euro 2021 final, Locatelli was still in the bench. Cristante was brought in from the bench, and actually is the one that had the header that Bonucci has the tap in. So I think I don't know, but Cristante is a player that is playing with everybody. It's kind of like what's happening with Rabiot. So I know that Billo, what do you think about that? Yeah.
May I say something?
Oh, go ahead. You can say whether you are on vacation.
I don't think any coach, even the four that we are with us right now, could have choose 11 players that have an Italian nationality that could have beat Spain today.
Okay.
No one. To me, Spain is better. Spain is better, has better quality, and deserve to win, man. When we play against a better team, like happened to us in the past against Barcelona, Real Madrid, man, they win. They're better.
Sure, but you can lose with dignity or not. We didn't lose without being
You lose 1-0 at the end of the thing, guys.
No. We didn't lose without being embarrassed because Donnarumma played the game of his life tonight. But we deserved to lose minimum 3-0. No question.
100%. Donnarumma, best player on the pitch.
Yeah, but because we were lucky also. Donnarumma saved some and they missed others.
Yep.
So it was bad. It's not. We're not talking about winning.
But do you think Spalletti goes to coach Spain and the other coach comes to coach Italy, we win?
No, we're not talking about winning. We're talking about playing a decent game where you are not embarrassed.
Because the ball goes around because they have better technique and they play better with each other.
No, we didn't do anything.
There was not a single time that we couldn't make a possession there.
Yep,
because they always hiding the ball for us.
That's because you're not set up properly.
Guys, it's not about set up.
Hold on. I'm not saying
it's not about set up. Come on, guys.
What forward?
Could be Allegri, Trapattoni, whatever.
Morata
There's
is
not set
your
up.
only forward. Your Morata's your only forward. Their mid is their breakout. We don't have a forward at all. But at the end of the day, when you show up and you're playing a 3-man back with Di Marco and you're playing Cambiaso as a central midfielder, you have no idea when it comes to playing, putting a formation. It's
Cambiaso played that role all season, man.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
100%. Because McKennie was playing on the right side. They were changing position.
He has not played as a center. He's never played a central position in the
He's played as a mezzala all season, man.
But he hasn't played in the middle. He's not a middle player. He put him in as a middle player. Has never played there. That's not his position of choice.
Look.
I don't think so.
I'm in the middle, and actually, this was a question that I had for everybody. Okay, Cambiaso, I agree with Billo because this year Cambiaso played a lot as mezzala. He played a lot like a winger. Okay, and Billo, you said many times, okay, that this he cannot defend, so that he cannot be a fullback. I think. So today he was put on to play he was playing in front of Di Lorenzo, so basically he was playing like a winger. Okay, I think that Cambiaso, if he has a future in a big team, okay, in a big club, Cambiaso need to play fullback. He's a fullback. Point.
But no, we did. But no, we did Di Marco on the other side. You have to have balance in teams.
Yeah, but Di Marco for me has been our liability. So at the end of the day,
I disagree
he's a liability. He is. You're getting exploited. You're playing in Serie A when you're playing tight, and you have Ciananoglu, Barella. You have guys covering up to fix your problem. He's been given liberties on the best team in Serie A for multiple years. You're playing up against. He looked normal against Albania. He looked subpar today against Spain. You gotta have an IQ. If you don't have a soccer IQ, being agile, athletic will get you to the point of hand marking. And
I actually
90 minutes.
I actually don't. I'm not so harsh on Di Marco. Actually, as a player that I like. Actually, you don't like that too much. Then you're gonna go.
No, I mean, I think Di Marco is a good player. Today, I didn't think he was particularly bad. All things considered, I think there were different players that played much worse than what Di Marco did.
I agree.
But the Cambiaso question is an interesting one as well because he's got good skills. He's got good run. I think he's a sneaky good athlete. But I don't know whether he has a role, like a position that's set for him. It was like, okay, this is what he's going to go. And that's great because he could have this sort of flexibility that if you need him, you can move him around and then.
But you see him as a winger or as like a fullback? That's because there's a question. Because I can see playing like a left or right. I understand. I understand Billo say that you cannot have the Cambiaso on the right and Di Marco on the left because you need to have balance. I understand that, but Di Lorenzo was being eaten. So, or you put like another center back, or basically you don't put Cambiaso in that situation. To me,
yeah, I agree. But honestly, I would think I don't see him as a winger, like a very attacking one. I think he plays well more towards the backside of the pitch because he's got good skills. Like he passes the ball very well. So I like him there. He doesn't have the speed necessarily, the quickness to be very, very aggressive on the front side. I mean, he's not, we've seen great wingers today, like both the youngsters from Spain up front were crazy. He doesn't have that kind of quickness, but as a fullback, I think he's got a good option. And this year, I think we've seen him a couple of times playing like a like more like an interior, like a mezzala kind of thing, you might want to think about that from time to time, but that's not his long-term position to me. But he's got the feet to do that. That's for sure.
Julio, you have an idea? You have like an opinion? Sorry, an opinion.
During the year, like when he was playing like in the midfield as a mezzala, like he got to the point where it was predictable. He was doing again the same thing over and over and over and over. And that shows the limitation that he would have in a different role than being back. So I agree with Matteo when he says he needs to be back. You know, he has great skills to be a fullback.
Yes.
You know, then you can use him if needed, not always in that way because he worked out once, twice, or 3 times. He's a fullback. Let's use the players for what they're good for. You know, and today he showed those limitations again. He made some very bad mistakes right when he got in. Like, so he's not that player. You know, if you're an attacking player, you need different skills. You need different skills. He doesn't have it. You know, he has other skills that need to be used in a different way.
It's an interesting comment, this one. I think like he was like he looked like a legal star versus serial star, and yes, still I think this is one game. It is not all tournament, and we get. There is a reason, and I'm going to repeat myself. There is a reason Italy didn't make the World Cup in the last 2 editions, because we don't have a lot of talent. Okay, I think we have some talent here there. We have a great goalie. We had a great midfield with Barella. We had a potential decent player with Chiesa, but he didn't show up today again. Okay, and so that's another.
0.
Exactly. So that's another question. So he wants to wait at the end of the Euro to renegotiate his contract. But this month, if you think like, I don't know who's gonna bid anything for him at this point if he keep playing like that. Okay. But Spain, basically, they are rebuilding. They're rebuilding with all these young players, with this Nico Williams, this Lamine Yamal. We had a couple of young center back, and they still count like on solid player like the motherfucker that I love, that is Carvajal, because I love that fucking player. I would kill him every time I see him playing against one of my team, but I love him. Okay, Dev Morata, that is a solid 9, and they have Rodri in the middle, guys. Rodri. So basically,
Pedri, Ferran Torres,
and then they have Pedri, they have Ferran Torres, who was Oyarzabal. They have like they're rebuilding, they're reloading. They're like maybe 2 years ahead of us. So we'll see where we're going to be in 2 years.
It 6.
Okay,
and they have a coach.
No,
that's a good point, John. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Not a coach.
Nah.
I mean, John, like you don't win a Serie A title if you don't know what you're doing. The Euro Cup,
even Chiello said that he wish he was trained by Ancelotti and Spalletti. He just said it yesterday.
The Euro Cup or World Cup are different tournaments, and sometimes, you know, it goes by quick, and the way they sucked this bad, it turns around. Maybe next game or next 3 games are going to be brilliant, you know. So it's difficult to judge because it's so quick. I think Spalletti is a good coach, but I also agree that today he didn't understand jack shit what he was doing.
I agree. But the point I'm going to have, and I agree with John, and I'll let you talk right now, John, there is a difference coaching with a club team and coaching with a national team. There's 2 different mindsets. Maybe I always appreciate Spalletti as a coach. He always did great, even with Venezia, with Empoli, with Udinese, with everywhere. He did pretty well. I don't like the man. I find him like not nice. I find like there's another conversation. Okay, but yeah, Giulio, today he didn't read the game. It wasn't he won the title last year with Napoli. He had a great job with Napoli last year. Okay, was a fluke? I don't think so, because they deserve to win. Okay, we see where Napoli is today. So, but I agree with John. Maybe he's not tailored for to be like a national team coach.
You said it. You hit it on the dot. Your comment you made right now is exactly the conversation we had today after the game. Tournament coaching versus season coaching are 2 different approaches. 38 games versus 3. You have to be prepared, and your response has to be immediate. And if you're not prepared to or have the habit or the ability to interpret the game in microseconds versus week to week, you're out of the tournament. This is why there are certain coaches that are just absolutely brilliant in situations like this, and whether it be World Cup based or have the ability to really follow instinct versus but today there was no instinct in his play. I felt that Barella was left to high and dry with a Jorginho that absolutely understood nothing of what was happening during the game, and not having that support where Spain, for all those Spanish fans out there, chapeau to their midfield. Their midfield is absolutely beautiful. They allow Morata to have space. Or if you saw Morata, he took a few nice hits outside of the area. What was the shots total? 16 to 6. 6 on target to 0 from Italy by the time the 75th minute. So it does give you an understanding of their press and their lateral play, because they were phenomenal on the wing. They were, and I agree with Reno. I don't agree with them. Obviously, you got to hit them with their IQ. I think that having someone with a soccer IQ that makes them think as well, and that there's going to be someone on the pitch that has got that executive functioning like they do with Pedri and Rodri. These are intelligent players who command the game.
Top talent players.
And Carvajal, like you said, you love to hate him, but everybody would want him on their team. The guy is an absolute beast. He's a beast.
Fuck yeah. So guys, so we are almost like on top of the hour. So you're like, that I don't really like going over the hour. But we have something to talk about, and so I'm gonna ask everybody. We have McKennie releasing some I'm gonna say like a weird statement with I think it was with the Athletic today. So I don't know if you read them, okay? And I think David in our internal chat has a great point when he was saying, let me get the comment and then I'll let you talk. So like. So he admits he was coming off the worst performance period of his career, and he's surprised that the team wasn't excited to have him back. So yeah, he's a kind of a point. Then I think that this year McKennie was really good, one of the best players until April. Okay, yeah, I was a little bit not surprised by what he said, but I was like, kind of bittersweet. Okay, so we want to start with that, and then we're gonna say good night to everybody. We want to start, Billo, so then you can. I'll let you go with your vacation.
Thank you. No, but to me, he didn't say anything particular. He say like, how do you feel like in the situation? They let you down, and they take away your locker space, and you have to restart the season. I'm not the one that gives problem. I prefer to show on the pitch, and basically is what he did. In reality, we're not used to see Serie A player talk like so, to speak their mind, and this is what he did. But I didn't talk bad about the management. He don't talk bad about the coach. He just said like the situation was. It is the reality. Everybody know that it went away. He didn't have a place in the roster in July, and after that, he was like, I want to show them I'm able to do it, and he did it at the end. Because for 25 games at least, he was the best player of our team.
Yep. Edo?
Yeah, I agree with Billo. I think it was the only thing that was surprising to me was the timing of this, news release. Like he was in the middle of this conversation going to Aston Villa in the Douglas Luiz deal, and then apparently he wasn't happy with it. Was asking for compensations and then right after that you get this interview with a fairly big outlet like the Athletic, and I was like, okay, that's interesting, but the content itself, as Bilo said, was pretty much, I didn't see anything egregious in there, except for when he says, my agent is working. Apparently, there are multiple teams that are interested or at least that's the idea that I got. And I don't know what his expectations are, because Aston Villa is going to play the Champions League, I think, next year.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
The coach is a good one. I think the Premier League is, it's an interesting tournament. I don't know if he expects something bigger, like, bigger teams, or to me, it looked like a good landing spot for him. And the idea of turning it down for, a couple millions or whatever, it's a bit weird. But the interview itself was fine. I think it was very honest. Even the fact when he was saying that he was essentially out of the team until they came to the US to play last summer, and then, Fagioli had the throat infection and whatever, and then he played, and then people realized, well, maybe we should keep him around. And then, as Bilo said, he played great, well, decent most of the year last year. So it was okay. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
There is a contract, and there is a contract situation because next year is going to be free. So most likely to him is like, okay, I can sit 1 year and wait what's going to happen with the free agency.
I don't know you guys heard, but there is like there was a rumor in the last hours that the Cincinnati is making a 50 million bid for mechanics to come for him to come to MLS. So, John, you're pretty vocal about your opinion, and I'm really interested to hear yours about McKennie, because the one thing I find weird, they say that I like playing in EPL. Well, there was Aston Villa wanting you to play over there. Why you didn't go? So that doesn't make any sense to me. But that's McKennie. So I'm not asking myself any question. What is he? Is McKennie?
Look, he's one of my, like, in terms of empathetic. I like McKennie. I like McKennie as a player. I like McKennie as a person. I like McKennie because he's North American and he's from the States, and the representation. I do think that it shows very weak on his behalf the way he's handling it. I think football, is also a business. And I think that he kind of brings a little bit of the show that is more of this side of the pond than it is in Europe. And I think he's doing it just to kind of giving it a little bit back towards Juventus and being difficult. I'm like asking for a severance package, essentially a severance package to leave. I mean, if he gets this, he's setting a new precedent for soccer, for football players, and it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a fall from grace if you think about this FC Cincinnati pitch, and it's been hot over here in Toronto. We've been talking about it all day, and it's been $15 million pitch. I don't think he'd be good for the league. I don't think it'll be good for his career as a person to do. I think the league would benefit from him, but I think that he's got more to give. And I'm surprised, especially because English-based league, Aston Villa, Champions League, a great market. To be very honest, a storied franchise in England. I don't understand them unless he's really interested in staying in Torino to be close to Fratese's sister. I mean, that's my only guess. I mean, really, if you think about it, or who knows, maybe Marotta wants to bring him to Inter so that he can play with his brother-in-law. Who knows? I just don't. I don't understand the mechanism. I think he's, outside of the issue of being disgruntled with Juve and the salary situation, I think that this play, he would suit more the Bundesliga and La Liga than he does the EPL because of there's more technicality. It's a shorter game. They're not playing this aggressive high tempo game, which would limit the amount of minutes he does per game. I can't see him playing 90 minutes or even 60 in the EPL, to be very honest, at an effective level.
Yeah, very interesting. Giulio, your opinion, and then we're going to wrap it up, guys. So.
Yeah, I actually have a less mild opinion about this. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Szczesny leaving a little emoji under, when they let go the trainer of the goal is now, McKennie first, like, is there blocking a big deal for severance package that it doesn't deserve. Like the timing, like happens, does an interview where he's pretty much throwing a bucket of shit toward Juventus, because that's what he did. He said there were players that never even played with the first team. They had a locker, and I didn't have it. So they were saying I was demoted. I was treated like a nobody. And then thank God that Allegri, it brought me back into his graces. I played well.
I think it was Giuntoli that came back.
Whoever it was, I don't know. So this is like a lot bigger than I think, than how I think is being kind of told now. My interpretation. He knows what those kind of statements are going to do, in particular in the Italian press. And he didn't have any problem saying it. And that's not how we do things at Juventus. Not when you are being interviewed, you are talking. One thing is an emoji, one thing is talking and saying things. Then maybe if you listen to the interview live, the tone of voice, how you say things, maybe it's a little different, but the way it's reported, it's damaging the image of the club. So I don't want to downplay like that. Actually, it upset me when I read the words.
So, and what do you think is going to happen right now? Because basically, we rejected a deal that was already completed with Aston Villa. Okay, so we had to put Barnechea instead of him, and even if we don't think what is Barnechea, but Barnechea was at least it was a promising player. So, and we know that his contract is going to expire basically in 1 year. So, what's going to happen with him right now? Because who's going to make an offer for him right now at the moment? Because
well, that's the thing. Like this kind of statements also corners the management. Is forcing their hand pretty much to let him go for nothing, so he can leverage the other team and make more money. That's why I don't like any of it. How it's going, because now you don't want a disgruntled player for a year, sitting there. So you want to get rid of him. Now everybody knows that there's this tension. They're not going to offer you nothing. They're going to offer you 5 million if you're lucky, if so, for him. So it just did a big damage, I think, with this interview.
Yeah, you're a great point over there. So, guys, anybody want to say anything before we wrap it up? No, not all together, guys. So,
Forza Juve, can we say that? Or
yeah, of course, Forza Juve.
I think we're still allowed. I don't think Kine is gonna come back to us
I'd like to see Chiesa score in the Euro, at least one.
I'd like to see Chiesa being sold for €1.
That's a conversation for another time, I guess.
Well, John, I don't see who's gonna offer more than €1 right now for Chiesa, even if I'm a Chiesa fan.
I'll leave you guys with one little tidbit. This will be something I have made. I don't know if you remember Matteo when we were there. If you met him, he was our taxi driver or bus driver. This guy has got connections. He drives around a few people in Torino.
Yeah,
and he gave me a little message, and he says that Motta has been quoted saying that if Juve does not get rid of Chiesa, he will be one of his reserves. That was that he will be on the bench. So it's an expensive bench, but hopefully for us, Chiesa has an impactful third game against Croatia. Italy goes on to the second round, and we're able to sell enough for €1, maybe 10.
Because his contract also expires in a year, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Eduardo, absolutely.
Hey, John, Eduardo is one of the few guys that have a picture with Chiesa.
Yeah? I had it with him last year, but I had to tell him to look up, not to look at his phone when I took one with him. He was sending hearts to his girlfriend. When I asked
he wasn't very pleased. He wasn't very pleased. Let's say that.
Oh,
No.
what? No, I'm surprised.
out of character.
No, not Federico. Not Fed. No.
You're thinking with the right guys, Edo.
Matteo knows my feelings very well. Very well.
Let's say that it's not like that. It's like quite unbelievable. Guys, thank you again. See you soon. Let's do one again. And John, good luck for the game against Chile and Peru. Okay, and hopefully kind of make out of the group stage. Hopefully Italy make out the group stage. And we have something to talk about. Billo, have great vacations and picture to us. Okay, and
it's almost done, guys. One more day.
Enjoy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye, boys.